Hello everyone and welcome to Lowwapanews, program made by Scouts for Scouts, right here in the Northeastern Pennsylvania Council. My name's Leo Kahagis and welcome to all of our viewers from throughout Pennsylvania and across the country. On this special field edition of Lowwapanews, we'll be filming a variety of scout skills right here at Goose Pond Scout Reservation. Let's start things off with a weather report from meteorologist Eric Simakaski. Weather this weekend. Thanks, Eric. Let's head over to the nature area with Lowwapanews correspondent Joe Norvillis.
Hi guys, my name is Joe Norvillis. I'm a staff member here at Goose Pond Scout Reservation, and for a couple of years I actually served as the nature director. So here at Goose Pond today we're going to talk about a couple things, and overall I want to talk to you guys about the overall health here at Goose Pond Scout Reservation. We're going to discuss whether Goose Pond, the pond itself, is a healthy pond. We're going to talk about the surrounding woods itself, whether that's healthy or not, and so let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about are indicator species. So an indicator species is a species, or an animal or a plant or something along those lines, that tells us whether an area is healthy or not. The earliest, or one of the most common ideas of these, is called the canary in the coal mine. So Pennsylvania here, especially northeastern Pennsylvania, we have a large history of coal mining in our region. So what coal miners used to do, they'd actually take a canary, a little bird, and a bird cage with them down into the mine, and they'd sing for them all day. And then, if the bird stopped singing, or would fall asleep, they know that they were in unhealthy conditions because the bird was smaller than the humans were, so they'd know that it was time to get out. Well, here at Goose Pond, we actually have some different types of indicator species here to tell us whether the ecosystem is healthy or not. So let's go check for some indicator species. So our first indicator species that we found is called lichen. Lichen is an indicator to tell us whether the air quality in a certain region is healthy or not. So here at Goose Pond Scout Reservation, if you take a short little walk, you're bound to find a tree with all this stuff on it. This is called lichen. And that could tell us that the air around Goose Pond is very healthy. If you take a look at any tree, you'll be able to find it. So this is one thing that Goose Pond prides itself in, is that we have a lot of lichen in the area. Alright guys, so here at the pond, and our second type of indicator species are actually fish. So if you guys ever have gone fishing here at Goose Pond, you should know that we have many different types of fish. We have small and largemouth bass, we have chain pickerel, we have crappies, sunny, bluegills, we have so many different types of fish. So from the smallest bluegill all the way to the 20 to even 30-inch chain pickerel we have, it shows you a wide range of species that we had from the smallest to largest. That also shows that Goose Pond is one of the most healthiest lakes here in the region. So the third type of indicator species that we have here are actually trees. So if you guys have ever been to Goose Pond, you should know that we have maybe one or two type of trees that absolutely dominate Goose Pond. The major one of those being the hemlock. But if you really take a closer look, we have a couple more really cool trees around. So one of the actual most coolest that we have is the tulip tree right behind me. So we have not only one, but two of these located on our property. These trees are extremely hard to grow, and they're extremely rare in Pennsylvania. Being able to grow these kind of more tougher trees shows us that the soil here at Goose Pond is phenomenal. So that's another reason that we take pride of our property here at Goose Pond. Alrighty guys, so our fourth and final type of indicator species that we have here at Goose Pond are called macroinvertebrates. So most people don't know we actually have two different types of inlets here at Goose Pond. We have our more common inlet over by the land bridge, and we have one here over at Scoutcraft. So every year when camp is in session, the nature staff does a stream study to see what type of macroinvertebrates we have. So the more range of macroinvertebrates that we have is better. So back in 2019, we did a field study and we found 14 different types of macroinvertebrates, which range from little crawdaddies to some more bigger water insects. Having those water insects are huge, and that we know that we have 14 of them makes us know that the streams coming into Goose Pond are very healthy. So that's it. We discussed 4 different types of indicator species found here at Goose Pond, and we found out that the soil is good, that the air quality is good, and both that the water going into the pond and the pond itself are in fantastic health. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you around the pond again soon.
Thanks, Joe. Now that we've visited nature, let's head back down to the aquatics area to learn some skills with our resident lifeguard, Jacob Rogers.
What's up everyone, my name is Jacob and today I'm going to be teaching you guys some aquatic skills here in the water. So, we're going to start off with some floats. An important part of the swimming merit badge, as well as a skill that's good to know, is survival floating. So here we have a PFD and we're going to be going over the help position for survival floating. So help stands for heat escape lessening posture. And this is the position you'd want to be if you're ever in a situation where you need to stay warm in the water and you have your PFD like you should. This is the position you'll use to stay warm and keep that heat circulating in your core. So I'm going to demonstrate on land first, and then I'll jump in and show you guys how to do it properly. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to have yourself in a ball position here, and you'll have your arms either across your chest or you can hold your knees up. You're going to float like this in the water, and this circulates the heat in your core area and keeps you warm. This way you can stay as warm as possible when you're in the water and you need to. Alright, so here we have our Coast Guard approved life jacket, or PFD, personal flotation device. So you want to get yourself all strapped up. And once you are all strapped in, ready to go, you want to make sure you tighten it up, make sure it fits properly. So we'll tighten this up. And to know that it fits properly, you'd have someone take it and you pull the shoulders, and if it goes above the ears, you know it doesn't fit and you want to tighten that up more, or get a smaller one that fits you. But once you're all strapped in, now I'm going to demonstrate the help position. Alright, so what you're going to do is just going to take your knees up, cross your ankles, grab those knees and hold it and hug it against your chest. And see how you can just sit like this in a ball, keeping that core circulating that heat and keeping yourself warm. Alright, so the next skill we're going to learn here is another survival float. This is for if you don't have your PFD and you need to stay warm in the water. It's called the dead man's float, you might know it as, but it's a survival float you can use to keep yourself warm without a PFD. So on land, I'll demonstrate here. Basically, when you're in the water, you're gonna be laying in the dead man's position like this, and every once in a while, when you need that breath, you're gonna let air out, come up, take your air in, and go back down. As less movement as possible works the best here, so you're conserving that energy. And the same thing as the other position, you're keeping that core heat circulating within to keep yourself warm. Alright, now this is how it should look when you're in the water. Alright, and those are some important skills you guys can use if you ever catch yourself in a situation where you're on a boat and you fall off and you need to keep yourself warm and conserve that energy. Hopefully those skills that you guys can use if it ever becomes necessary. I hope you guys learned something. Thank you for watching. Back to you, Leo.
Thanks, Jacob. Let's head over to Scoutcraft for the last skill instruction of the day with CJ Walker.
Alrighty, thanks Leo. So now let's head down the trail to Scoutcraft here and let's talk about a little bit of backpacking skills, guys. Alrighty guys, welcome back over to Scoutcraft. So now we're going to be talking about how to hang a bear bag. So around here, bear bags aren't really required anywhere unless you go up north on the Appalachian Trail, and I think possibly down south on the Appalachian Trail to a couple sections. But around here in PA, they're not really required because most camping you're going to do isn't really backcountry camping, but it is still a great skill to have in case your troop does decide to do some backcountry camping at one point or another. So, for a bear bag, you need 2 to 3 things. So first of all, you need some sort of cordage, and second of all, you need a bag. Those are your 2 main things. You could also have a carabiner too, and the carabiner is just really nice because you can just keep your bear bag rope tied together, and you can use something like a Nalgene or a water bottle or something like that to toss over instead of just the paracord. So we're going to be doing it on this really low branch, so it's not really too necessary to have too much paracord, so I'm going to just demonstrate it using the leftover rope. So what you're going to want to do is in your non-dominant hand, you're going to want to take your rope and coil it up in a little bit of a, kind of like what you do in life saving, just so that way you can hold onto the rope. Just a little bit of a coil. So then in your dominant hand, you're going to take your weight, which could be your Nalgene, or it could be a thing of paracord or a rock or a stick even, and you're going to take it and you're going to throw it underhand up and over the branch. So we're going to try to shoot prior to the knot in that, the Y in that branch, and let's see if we can do it. As it goes up, see, that time we missed it just barely. See, this is the unedited version. So we're going to get it one more time. Right over the branch there. So then we're going to grab our thing of rope. We're going to grab our bag. And we can take the rope and we can hold it underneath our arm or in between our legs, or have another scout hold it. And then we could tie a number of knots on here. All I'm going to tie real quick is a 2 1/2 just to hold the bag on. Taken care of right there. Then with your other arm, you're going to hoist it up. Come on. Get up and over. Typically with a bear bag, you're going to want to have it out on a branch, so that way a bear couldn't simply just climb the tree and walk out onto it. Then from there, we're going to take it and we can tie it off on the tree. There you guys go. That is how you tie a simple bear bag. So next up, we're going to talk about how to use a backpacking stove. So to keep on this little bit of a backcountry backpacking kind of theme with the bear bag, and next up the stove. Hey guys, all right, we're over here at Scoutcraft now, and we're going to talk about how to put together one of these little portable backpacking stoves. So it's an extremely simple thing to do. So most of them come in a little tiny bag like this, and all you simply have to do, they have arms on them. You fold out the arms, and that works as your pot stand. You can hold your little pot to boil stuff on. You don't want to use a pot that's too big, nothing really larger than this. So all your fuel canisters, you'll have a specific type depending on the type of stove. This one is called power gas. There's white gas stoves, there's butane stoves, propane stoves, and this is pretty much a propane style stove. So you need to make sure your fuel canister has the right adapter for your stove, which this one does. And it's pretty simple. It's just a righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. You're going to screw the stove onto the top. And you might hear a little bit of a hiss to get your stove put together. Make sure that you get that on really, really tight. You don't want any gas to leak out. So afterwards, you're going to have this little knob on the front, or there might be a little flame that you can adjust to show how much gas you want to come out. So when you just start up the stove, you don't want too much gas, because otherwise you're going to have a big flame at the top here. So we're going to let out a little bit of gas. We can use a lighter, a match, a stick lit on fire. So real quick, all you do then is put a spark on there. And then you want to make sure you have a good controlled flame. A blue flame is a very hot flame. And something like this, you don't want to, if you don't have a big pot on it, you don't want to turn up the flame all the way and waste all your gas. Just make sure you control your fire from there. So it's pretty simple. When you're done, twist it all the way to the right, turn it off, and then you're going to want to give it a couple seconds to cool down, because it's going to be extremely hot. And you're going to want to take it apart in the opposite way that we put it together. So that's all I got for you guys today. Alrighty guys, I hope you guys can take some of these backpacking skills with you along the trail, and I hope to see you guys around the pond soon.
Thanks, CJ. As we're nearing the end of this episode of Lowwapanews, let's turn to something that normally serves as the end for a week of summer camp. It's one of my personal favorite parts of summer camp, and it's a campfire song right over there at the campfire site by Matt Wieland and JP.
Hey guys, I'm Matt. Hi, I'm JP. Welcome back to the pond. We have another song to share with you guys today that we hope brings back some good memories being here at camp. We hope all of you and your families are doing well, and we hope to see you around the pond sometime in the near future. Enjoy. Some things aren't defined. Some things they're just right. 'Cause it's more than the green of trees. It's more than the summer breeze. The smell of rocks and water washing over me. It's more than the orange fire. It's more than the fishing worm. It's more than the cabin walls or that morning bugle call. It's something you can't touch, but you can hold so dear. Lying in that field, sleeping with the sky, something bound between us without us knowing why. From that moment on, nothing could undo the feeling of belonging that would always be true. Some things don't need words. Some things they just work. 'Cause it's more than the green of trees. It's more than the summer breeze. The smell of rocks and water washing over me. It's more than the orange fire. It's more than the fishing worm. It's more than the cabin walls or that morning bugle call. It's something you can't touch, but you can hold so dear. And maybe it's not much, but I'll be back next year. I'll be back next year. Oh, it won't be long till the summer comes. Oh, it won't be long till the summer comes. Oh, it won't be long. That was the camp song by Peter Katz. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt and JP. Hearing that song really brings back a lot of great memories from our times at summer camp. For the last segment on today's show, let's head over to a Scoutmaster's Minute with the council fun guy himself, Dave Cerebro.
Hey, thanks, Leo. Hello, everyone. Dave Cerebro here, Lodge Staff Advisor and Camp Director here at Goose Pond Scout Reservation. I'm sitting here at the brand new Croom Family Pavilion at Goose Pond. We didn't get to use it much this year, but I know we're going to use it a lot in the future. I've done a number of Scoutmaster Minutes for Lowwapanews, and I just wanted to give a big shout out to Leo and the gang for all their hard work. I'm a big fan, and as I always say, each episode never seems to be remiss in being entertaining, educational, and inspirational. So I have a Scoutmaster Minute here today about some of the things I've learned here over the years at Goose Pond and while I was being a scout. About 30-some years ago, a man named Robert Fulgham wrote a kind of poem titled, "All I Really Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten." It talks about how all the simple stuff we learned as kids can easily be applied to everything we do in our lives. I've been in scouting since I was about 7. I've been camping at Goose Pond since I was about 10, and I've been working at Goose Pond since I was 17. So with sincere apologies to Mr. Fulgham, I've written my own version. All I really need to know, I learned in scouting. Here goes. All I really need to know about how to live and what to do and how to be, I learned in scouting. Wisdom was not found at the top of the Penn State University or Eagle Scout Mountains, but mostly around a campfire at Goose Pond. These are just some of the things I've learned. Different is good. Take pride in what you do. People talk too much. Fire building skills are good to have. Be a minimalist. Be flexible. Appreciate nature. Share your water and food with others. You could solve most problems with a cup of cocoa on a star-filled night. Everything tastes better after you've been camping for 3 days. You do not need electricity or running water or internet or computers or smartphones to live an enjoyable life. Thoreau was right. All you need in this world is food, water, and good friends to stop by and see you once in a while. Getting dirty is okay. In fact, the dirtier you're willing to get, the more fun you're going to have. A little dirt in your food won't kill you. God is everywhere. It doesn't matter where you're from or what kind of background you come from. Sleeping under the stars is a lot more meaningful if you have a warm sleeping bag. Campfire entertainment is usually a lot better than most concerts you pay for. All you need on your day off is a good nap and some clean sheets. Take pictures. Hike slowly and quietly, or you'll never see anything. Always have dry boots, comfortable shoes to change into, and clean socks. You can never have too many extra pairs of socks. Be prepared. Email and Facebook are no substitute for the real thing. Dream big. If you can see it, you can be it. If each person does just a little bit more than expected, everyone has a whole lot less to do. While it may be a lot of work, the view is best from the finish. Never take mornings for granted. Every person has something to share. The more often you quit something, the longer it takes to get done. One of the best feelings in the world is trying something you're afraid of and succeeding. A day at camp makes you sleep so much better at night. 1 week is all you need to become best friends with someone. Trying something is the most important thing. The world is so much more interesting when I'm not always distracted by my phone. You can never be bored at camp. Step out of your comfort zone, it's thrilling. It's worth hiking over to the other side. Drink lots of water. Always take a buddy. I am responsible for me. Saying goodbye is sometimes hard. And if you follow the Scout law, it will never steer you wrong. Everything you need to know is in there somewhere. Take any one of those items and extrapolate it into sophisticated, modern, mature terms and apply it to your family, your life, your work, the government, or the world you live in. And it holds true and clear and firm. Thanks again, and back to you in the Goose Pond newsroom.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cerebro. That's the end of this special edition of Lowwapanews. Thanks to everybody that's been tuning in, and remember that you can follow Lowwapanew Lodge on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. But don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already at Lowwapanew191. Until next time, this has been Leo Cahages reminding you to keep on scouting.